the most wonderful time of the year, as I'm sure you can tell by the hat I'm wearing that I for some reason cannot get to look right on my head, but we're not going to talk about that. Part of what makes the Christmas season so wonderful is all the movies and music about the holiday. And that got me thinking, if there are Christmas movies and music, are there Christmas video games? And if they exist, are they any good? Because I feel like if there was a truly amazing Christmas video game, I would have heard about it by now. So today, I want to try and find the best Christmas video game that we can all start playing every year to get into the holiday spirit. I have 4 games that I'm going to show you today, and we're going to decide which one wins the title of the best Christmas video game. The competition is not fierce, but I wouldn't have it any other way. That makes it so much better. A lot of Christmas movies are cheesy, goofy, and honestly not that great. So it's only fitting that the video games are the same. So let's just get into this. The first game that we're going to be discussing is Elf Bowling. This is actually a game that my grandparents owned as a kid, and I loved it. I played it all the time. I thought it was hilarious. Throwing bowling balls at elves, the perfectly cut off scream, the stupid song.
Elf baby.
It's no wonder I loved this game as a kid. However, after revisiting this game as an adult, I'm now realizing that this game had a lot of jokes that went over my head.
Fewer toys, higher. Is that all the balls you've got, Santa?
What do you mean Santa is abusive towards his elves so they hate him and go on strike to protest their awful work environment? I mean, maybe I should have realized that, considering Santa is hurling bowling balls at his elves and they get knocked out and are bloody every time he hits them, and sometimes their heads pop off. But I didn't think much of that at all as a kid. I just thought it was funny when they screamed. Okay, so Elf Bowling probably isn't winning the title for best Christmas game, so let's move on to Home Alone. Home Alone is a classic Christmas movie, but if you haven't seen it, it's about a boy named Kevin who's left home alone at Christmas, and he has to stop these 2 bandits, Harry and Marv, from breaking into and robbing his house. Kevin makes a lot of crazy traps to stop the thieves, so I'm sure that this game is going to reflect the high energy of the movie. Or not. So the game starts with you picking the character you want to play as, because for some reason there are children other than Kevin. There's also Kelly, Carl, and Carly. Come on, you know, Kelly, Carly, and Carl. Everyone's favorite Home Alone characters. Then you play through the different levels that each take place in a different part of the house. You have to lock all the doors and then throw traps at the burglars until they die. And despite the fact that the main menu shows both Harry and Marv, only Harry is in the game. In fact, sometimes there's more than one of him. They're just in different jackets. There's literally 2 bandits. Why would they not just put the other one in the game? Also, Home Alone takes place during Christmas. It's cold, snowy weather in the movie. And yet, for some reason, it looks like a beautiful summer day in this game. I'm so confused by all the choices made in this game. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Elf Bowling is still in the lead for best Christmas game. Next up is Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the video game. Another classic Christmas movie that I actually made a video on last year, so check that out if you want. I was pretty surprised to learn that there was a Wii game based on this movie, so let's check it out.
Well, hello there. My name's Special Delivery Kluger, SD for short. Oh, I've got lots of letters for Santa today, and every year they're the same. Some ask for toys, but a lot ask questions.
Okay, so everyone is kind of wide-eyed and creepy, and that mailman is nothing like the one from the movie. But honestly, for a kid's game, it's not so bad. Plus, everyone in that movie is wide-eyed and creepy, so I guess it fits. This game is a platformer with the occasional minigame, and it stays mostly faithful to the original movie. It does take some liberties here and there. For example, in the movie, baby Chris gets swept away in a storm, and that's how he goes missing and is eventually found by the Kringles. But in the game...
But the guard lost baby Chris on the way to the orphanage.
Sir, how did you lose that baby? He is just laying in the snow like 20 feet away from you, and he doesn't even look remotely concerned that he lost a baby. Also, the Winter Warlock uses magic all the time in the game, even though a huge part of the movie is that he lost his powers. The game is full of little inconsistencies like that, which ultimately aren't a big deal. They're just kind of weird choices. As for for platforming, the levels are pretty repetitive and boring, since nearly all of them are just Chris going back and forth from town to deliver toys. There was one point where I thought we were going to get an exciting chase level, because the Burgermeister was like, "Arrest Chris!" But then him and the guard just stand there.
In the name of the law, you brats are under arrest. Take them away.
Don't arrest those kids. It was my fault. I gave them the toys.
You? How dare you? You are obviously a nonconformist and a rebel. Arrest this man. Arrest him.
Overall, this game is pretty cute, and I'd say it's probably the best of the bunch so far. The last game we'll be talking about is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the game. This game is also a platformer that follows the plot of the classic movie it's based on. But instead of Rudolph slowly meeting all of his friends over the course of his adventure, he's born and then immediately walks outside and becomes friends with Hermie, Clarice, and Yukon. I think the reason they did this instead of meeting them during the story is because you have the option to play as any of them throughout the game, which is pretty cool. As someone whose favorite Christmas character is Hermie because I think he's the cutest little guy ever, I will happily accept this story change if I can play as him. But whoever made this game must have really liked Clarice and wanted her to be a part of the main story, because she's really only in the beginning and the end of the movie, but she joins the other three on their whole journey in the game. She's not even a misfit like the rest of them, but I guess she just wanted to join. Or perhaps her wanting to hang out with the misfits is what makes her a misfit. The game isn't fully voice acted. Most of the game is text boxes with the occasional noise from the characters. That doesn't bother me. I play a lot of games that do that. I just think that the noises they make are really funny.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Woo! Go!
Anyway, the game follows the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but each level of the game is kind of open, and there's different side quests you can do, and there's all sorts of areas to explore. The game, of course, has its platforming, but there's also boss fights with the Abominable Snowman. This game is by no means perfect. But for a kid's game that will probably only be played once a year, if that, I think it's pretty impressive. There's a lot to do and explore, and it stays mostly faithful to the original story. So, I think that means that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is winning the title of Best Christmas Game. But Elf Bowling will always have a special place in my heart. Now, I'm sure there are other Christmas games out there that are great. These are just the 4 best ones I could find, so if there are others that I didn't talk about, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if there are games that aren't about Christmas, but you consider them Christmas games. For example, Blue Stinger, a game I did a video on a while ago, is often considered a Christmas game despite being about aliens because it takes place on Christmas Eve. If there are any other games like this, definitely let me know, and maybe I'll make a video on it next year. But if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe to see more content from me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye and Merry Christmas!
Elf, elf, baby.